Hey, Hoops fans. Welcome, Chris Dodson, SouthCoast Swish, here with one of the best fans in the NBA, running the Pels 12 site. Got a few ventures coming up, got a crazy background we'll get to, got a new intro song for and everything, because she's that special. We got Arielle Myers in the house. How you doing, Rel?
I'm doing really well. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, got to. Starting this new venture. I know you got something coming up that we'll get to, but I'll talk to you first. Wasn't even basketball, it was music. You were doing some things during COVID. We did a write up for music, movies, and hoops, top 20 in New
Yeah.
Orleans. But before we get to all that, just tell the people where they can find you.
So on Twitter and I don't know, TikTok, pretty much everywhere. My handle is at Rel Myers, RELMYERS. And yeah, I'm everywhere, but I'm mostly on Twitter. I'm on Twitter all day, man. I'm just bored.
Right.
I'm
No,
just bored.
you got a few things you do on there. You do the Pelicans lead, right? You got Pels
Yeah.
and whistles. You got a few things they can find you. You branching out more than you think.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But yeah, like you said, the Pels and Whistles podcast on Believe Network. We've been doing that for the last year. That's been a lot of fun. We got the Pels 12. We're doing watch parties and everything for the away games, and sometimes we do pre games for home games. And then yeah, Pelicans lead is the newest thing. I took over that. I want to say what May 16th or whenever the draft lottery was. So I've been doing that for a few months, and that's a good time as well. So yeah, I'm everywhere all the time.
Oh, I know you everywhere. You were in Vegas too for the summer league. Got me a little bit.
Yeah.
It was like the Smoothie King Center in there, so I don't mind that slip up so much anymore with my little perfectionist ass. But how'd you like Vegas?
Vegas is it's kind of miserable, man. Like I wouldn't go if it wasn't for summer league. Like I'm gonna keep going to go to summer league, but if summer league moves somewhere else, I would never step foot in Vegas again. It's the most unnecessary place I've ever been. There's nowhere to sit down unless you like eating or gambling. It's a madhouse. It's hot. It's hot, you know. So it's an experience to say the least.
It's definitely an experience. It's definitely hot. There was one night that my ride left me at the gym, and I had to walk back at like 8:30 from there to Virgin. It was miserable
Ooh,
by the time I got back. But what was the
yeah.
good parts of Vegas? Watching the Pelicans, you got to see a couple of rookies, Dyson Daniels. I guess we'll try and lean it
Yeah.
to the good things of Vegas, not the
Yeah.
wasted money and the heat.
For sure, for sure. No, I really like the intimate atmosphere that summer league is. I wasn't able to go to NBA Con. They had their inaugural, convention thing or whatever this season. I might have to check that out next summer. But yeah, just the intimate nature of it. Like Thomas and Mack is, it's a regular sized arena, I guess you could say. But then the Cox Pavilion is so much smaller, and it's almost like a high school gym, or just a little bit bigger than a high school gym that I've ever been in. But um, just being there and being able to, talk some friends into going to Vegas. We had a couple Pels 12 people out there. People that are normally at our watch parties came out to Vegas with me. So we're in the stands. We're a few rows behind the bench, and we're yelling out at Casey Hill, and he's like, throwing hand gestures at us and everything. He's waving, and so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, see, that's the best part of Vegas, especially if you're over in Cox. It's such a small gym. There's not all the press box and this and that. I mean, they had me and
Yeah,
Will and a few others from Boot Crew either behind the basket or way up in the gym, in the
yeah.
rafters basically. But it's still fun in that gym. It's so small. Uh,
Mhm.
you were keeping a lot of notes. I'm gonna kind of switch this up for you.
All right.
We were doing a lot. I was out there doing a lot of scouting and assistant coaching, media, all that kind of work. You've seen it.
Mhm.
I seen you taking notes the other day. I did not know people did scouting reports and that many notes on the movie Scream in the franchise. Now, it might be basketball, but I gotta know. I gotta know. How long has that scouting report been going on for y'all? Where you at with
So
it?
that's all of my wife. She really likes Scream, but not really at the level that I like it. But she's just like curious about other things, like the ages of everyone in each movie. So she's like, I don't know. This is bothering me. I got to figure out this timeline. And so she grabs her notepad and she just starts scribbling down different characters and what age they were in the first one and how many years has passed between the first and the second and so on and so forth. So she had this whole thing written out, and I was like, I'm gonna take a picture of this, and I'm telling you now, I'm putting it on Twitter because I post about certain things that she says that's like quirky and things like that, and my followers respond well to it. So I'm like, let me update y'all on what this woman is doing today. So yeah, she decided to write down all those ages for the characters and stuff, and that was pretty funny. But it just, I don't know, she did it in like maybe 20 minutes. Did a quick little
Wow.
Google to figure it out. Yeah, it wasn't long at all. So next time I'm gonna have to tell her to do the full cast and not just the main characters.
Yeah, no, I thought y'all started from season 1, episode 1 of the first movie and was like taking notes through all of them. Y'all did a full marathon.
Yeah, well, we
That's what
watched
it
them
looked
all
like
this
to me.
past weekend. Yeah, we watched them all, and I want to say once we got to 4 or 5 is when she started writing stuff down. So I mean, she's seen the first 3 or so a million times, so she's just going kind of from memory for that. So yeah, she threw something together real quick.
Right, right. I don't even know if I've seen all the movies. Definitely not the series and any of this that's been on like MTV and
Yeah, the
MTV2,
series
whatever
is.
that is. My
Mm,
sisters are that.
yeah.
That's my sisters.
Shout out to your sisters, man. They know good TV and good film. But no, the TV show actually, I'm not a fan of the TV show. I watched it. There's only 3 seasons. I prefer the 3rd season, but the 3rd season was a completely different cast. First 2 seasons can't can't endorse the first 2, unfortunately.
Hmm. That's usually reversed. Usually it's the season the starts out real well, like Justified. I'm watching Justified right now. Love the
Uh-huh.
first 5, 6 seasons. This new season, I just don't know. There's some of it that just don't connect.
And I haven't seen that before. I'm picking different shows and movies and stuff to watch when I do my treadmill thing in front of the TV. Right now I'm in the middle of watching Cocaine Bear, so when we're done here, I'm gonna go finish that.
Okay,
But
okay.
that's that was a trip so far.
No, Scream is more the sisters. My mom and grandma. I don't even want to say how I seen grandma and mom shudder to Justified and Timothy Oliphant way back in the day. That's a different podcast, not for kids. But but last on the movies then. Barbie, Oppenheimer, you hit any of those? I know you big into movies. I hadn't seen any of the Avengers or comics, any of it. Haven't
Oh
seen Barbie, haven't
man.
seen Oppenheimer, but I get your
Did not participate in Barbenheimer just yet. I feel like both of those I'm just gonna wait until I can stream them at home. Um I'm probably I don't even know what's coming out soon that I might go and actually see at the movies. I'm a big Fast Saga fan. For me, it's mostly the nostalgia. I'm going to continue to watch those movies no matter how ridiculous they get.
okay.
So I'm actually at the end of next month, a new Saw is coming out. I might be able to talk somebody into going to see that with me.
That I might be able to get into. I hadn't been in a movie theater in forever, really. I like sitting home watching them myself, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
I fought those Titanic wars, back when I was in high school. I wasn't trying to get the whole new ambiance on either end.
yeah,
I'm a history buff, but I'll wait. I feel like there was going to be too much in that Oppenheimer for, they're just full is going to be
yeah.
full some days. I'd rather avoid it.
Too much
But
drama.
switching back to basketball, I know we just kind of took a turn.
That's cool.
I don't want to try and do something too crazy where it's like, well, what team is going to remind you of Scream 3? But it's South Coast Swish. It's South Coast Swish. We got just the Southern teams, the Pelicans, some of their schedules out. What do you think of the how the team's going to do? Are they going to have a scary season? We already know that on Thanksgiving they're going to be in LA, so they're not really
Yeah.
going to hate it to us. But how do you think this season and the schedule, which comes out tomorrow, is
Mhm.
going to help cater the Pelicans and maybe get a better season than we've had the last few years?
I'm hoping for minimal back to backs. I don't know how much they can cut down on that really, but obviously the main thing is health. Like I try to predict like how many wins they might have and things like that, but you just never know which one of your stars is going to end up playing like 10 games. You know what I mean? Like you don't know who's going to
Yeah.
end up playing 40 or whatever have you. So it's just like I have to keep my fingers crossed and hope for health, but um I'm really curious to see just really how we fare in our division, with our division getting Wimby and John Morant's going to be out for a little bit over what he's going to be out for 25 games, so he's going to miss a decent chunk of the season. So how do we fare against Memphis without him, and are we going to be healthy when we play them and things like that? But yeah, everything just revolves around are we going to be healthy, and if we're healthy, absolutely need to be like a top 16. We need to be missing out on the play in for sure, but that's a big question mark, and it's something that nobody can really control. So we're just kind of at their mercy.
Right. The health is the big thing. I want to see that, but healthy. I don't think the Pelicans should be scared of anybody. Wimby,
No.
Zion will go right through Wimby for a few years until he gets some muscle on. Hopefully,
Yeah.
the Pelicans do play Memphis in those first 2 months, and they get them without Ja. They get a couple wins.
Yeah.
I hope they do something like last year when they go to Utah. They play both games in Utah and just that's the wrap. Don't go back to altitude.
Yeah.
Same thing for Denver. I think they did a lot of good things with the schedule last year, and I want to see them stick with what worked. and maybe
Mhm.
play with it so that there's less back-to-backs, less of that travel.
Yeah. I do like that mini series thing that we had going on. I mean, we played Phoenix and we're done with them pretty early too, I want to say. In that home that like two home games on Friday and Sunday, like not a back to back, but it's kind of like a series, sort of like the playoffs. I think that worked out really well, and it kind of built a lot of, I guess you could say, momentum. Really.
Yeah, and it brings atmosphere to the gym. If you know that on Friday and you win, and you got another game Sunday, those people
Hmm.
still coming back, they're going to be loud in the third and fourth quarter instead of, oh, we're winning in the third, we're up 20, Zion's about to do a dunk. We might as well leave in the fourth because there's not another game till next Tuesday, and it won't
Yeah.
be on national TV. TNT's going to go somewhere else. That's another thing. The play-in, the in-season tournament, not one single national game.
No, and
Is
I'm
that
okay with it. It's on the one hand, it's like you want that respect to be on national TV, but on the other hand, we know when the Pelicans get on national TV, they kind of embarrass us. So just hang back. We don't need nobody to see what we got going on. And the thing about the nationally televised games, if the team's doing well, if there's a particular storyline the league wants to capitalize on, they can just flex us on. It'll be fine. But yeah, I'm fine with us not being on national TV. That gives us more time with Joel and AD. So it's cool.
right? Yeah, I hope Joel and AD's around no matter what happens with the TV broadcast. I'm working on figuring out what that is. I don't think the Pelicans know yet, honestly. They're
Hmm.
looking at Bally, but if Bally misses one payment, they'll have to switch to an over-the-air broadcast or
Ooh.
in-house production, which I reported on this years ago.
Hmm.
They looked at doing in-house production, keeping Joel and AD, but having to pay their full salary,
Hmm.
finding their own TV trucks. It got a little too expensive, so they went back with Bally. But I
Mm.
know with that bankruptcy, there's so
Yeah.
many better options out there that I think the front office is about to start getting a little bit more pressure to do a
Mm.
few more things right. I know you one of the fans, you in there. I I don't want to push you too hard on it, but you do want to see more from the team in that, correct?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the more I pay attention to other teams, the more I'm like, man, why don't we do that? And common theme that's been coming up is comparison is the thief of joy. That is absolutely true, but at the same time, it would be nice for us to follow suit in certain things that other people are doing. Phoenix, they're gonna be showing all the games for like free or something to their fans, right? They just got a new TV thing worked out with their new owner, so that's pretty impressive. And it would be nice if we could do that. You can't really grow your following if nobody can watch the game, and you can't like if you're just a random person at a bar, you're probably not gonna end up seeing the Pelicans on TV because they might not have the channel or it just Bally don't even work.
Right,
So
right.
it's
It don't work.
difficult.
If you go to North Louisiana, it's still in the Pelicans geography, but up there they'll just go ahead and show the Dallas feed because that's how it is. That's
Yeah.
North Louisiana. That's why we don't go up there too much.
We stay away.
We go up there to scout some kids, try and get them to college, and we get back home as soon as grandma's feeding us. That's the only reason. But we make them trips every few weeks. Got to
Yeah.
keep the family right. Looking at you mentioned health. We've seen players working out. We've
Mhm.
seen and heard reports. I've seen Zion out at the Saints practice facility on the far side.
Yeah.
The social media teams put out some pictures of Jose with his mustache and Trey and
Oh
all this.
man.
Do you give them a little bit of credit, knowing all the history, but knowing Zion's still in the city? Then they got a new practice court. He's putting it to good use.
Mhm.
Is that sort of a, I don't want to say relationship counseling, but the fan base can silently say Zion and the front office are finally on the same page. They had those come to Jesus meetings last year that I reported on.
Mhm.
Zion was at the facility when Spoon got let go. They're on
Mhm.
a way better communication wavelength. I think
Yeah.
some fans have missed the point because they've not seen the growth in communication in that relationship. They want it to be
Right.
this when it was that, and they don't give any credit for the making that relationship stronger.
Mhm.
Do you want to see more from Zion this offseason, or do you trust them to just say, hey, he'll be at media day, he'll be at the open practice, he'll be at the season? We don't need to see pictures now. We need to see it then.
Yeah. No, I of course as a fan I would love to see, some behind the scenes, some practice facility footage of Zion, but that's not what he does. That's not what the team does. Like he's just out of sight, but never out of mind in the offseason. You know what I mean? So, we're seeing a ton from guys like Trey Murphy and We've seen decent amount from Jose, and even EJ Liddell and Jordan Harkins. Like, we're seeing a lot from them. We're seeing a lot from Dyson Daniels, and these guys are going and working out with these different trainers across the country and across the globe, really. But I think people have to remember that there's never been an off season where we're just getting a bunch of footage of Zion just like working out, and I don't think we're ever going to. So everybody might as well get over it. So yeah, as
Yeah,
a
that was
fan, I want to see that, but I know that I'm not going to, and I'm fine with him showing up at media day, and we're gonna be marveling over how great he looks. He always looks great, you know. So
best
we'll
shape
see
of
what
my life.
happens.
It's always best shape of my life.
Oh man, yeah. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to that. You know, that's when you don't get that, then obviously you have that to look forward to.
Right. And that's just something he never did in high school, college, really. That's just his personality. You never really see it with BI either, but you see what BI's doing with Team USA,
Mm-hmm.
and you just have to trust the process at that point. You see what BI's
Yeah.
body looks like and what he's playing on, and how Griff talked about at Summer League on that
Mm-hmm.
same set that you got me on. And that Griff got kicked off on.
Oh
That
man.
story, I still don't think it was that sock. And I don't
Oh
think Alvin Gentry in the back had much to do with it either, but I'll leave it alone. I'll leave it alone. I ain't ready for no Muhammad Ali type stuff.
hey, look, yeah, chill
And I
out.
know they're gonna come out with the gloves if they start cutting off podcasts like that.
Oh
But I
my
mean,
goodness.
Griff was talking about Bi's new body and how he goes into the offseason and just focuses on that, and he's not playing basketball on that body and that frame, and that
Yeah.
causes him issues earlier in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Now we see what Bi's doing with Team USA. Everything he doesn't need to do, he's doing anyway. So he's rounding out his game. We're seeing a 50, 40, 90 type, you know, shot chart and percentages. I
Yeah.
really think he could come in and do a little bit less with the Pelicans because you're
Mm-hmm.
going to have Zion, you're going to have CJ, you're going to have Trey taking a step. BI doesn't have to up his volume. He can actually just up his efficiency. And you'll
Yeah.
see that 50, 40, 90. He'll be an all-star again. This
Mm-hmm.
is going to do wonders for BI's leadership and how he
Yeah.
learns to pick his spots better because he's still learning how to pick his spots. He's still mid-20s. NBA, you got to learn your game. You
Mm-hmm.
know, sometimes he dribbles a little too much. He gets into that BI, lull him to sleep. I really think your BI, we watching him practice in Vegas, he's going to get a little bit out of that and learn to pick his spots, be quicker, more efficient, better with his decision making. And it's going to go a long way. Have you seen the same thing
Yeah.
from what you've seen this summer?
Yeah, I think it's an extremely valuable like learning situation for him. And for Herb and Trey as well. You know, they went out there and they're on the select team and everything, and Herb's giving everybody hell on defense, and the select team's beating the main team and stuff like that. So yeah, I think this was a really, really good experience for BI to take part in. And you know, he'll show up for training camp with a little bit more weight on, a little bit more muscle on, but this time, you know, he's probably going to be leaned out because he's actually playing ball, and so all that'll be out of the way before we get to actual regular season and stuff. So the opportunity to have Bi at in mid-season form in October, where I'm excited to see what that's gonna look like. So yeah, hopefully everybody's healthy, nobody gets no concussions in the third game of the season. Nobody fall on bruise their hip, no contusions, man. I don't want to see no contusions, like at least to like January or something. I don't know. I'm scarred from January. I don't even know why I said that.
Don't say January. That was the Philly game right there. You say contusion. I'm thinking of when Utah and Clarkson got up underneath Zion. He landed straight on his ass and
Yeah,
tailbone, and
yeah,
the whole Smoothie King Center just went quiet for a
that
second.
was
And I
it,
was in
man.
there for that.
That same game, that's when Bi got the concussion. In that same exact game, Herb got hurt. He had like sprained ankle or something in the same game. Man, it was ridiculous. But very next game, you know, Dyson stepped up. He was shutting down Luka Doncic. You know, so you never know. We got a nice little team. We just gotta be healthy, man. We gotta be healthy. We gotta get these guys to get their reps together. You know, a lot of fans, and I won't even say these are Pelicans fans. They're stands of a particular person in the starting lineup. They don't like CJ McCollum, but let me tell you, the man signed up to be the third option, and he's only gotten to do that like 10 times. That's not his fault. So look to someone else to blame. You know, that's my
Right. And
soapbox.
CJ took to heart when he was traded here. He said, "Look, I'm coming to New Orleans because I want to build a legacy there too." He's doing a lot of stuff off the court,
Hmm.
stuff that people just don't see. You know,
Right.
too. When it
Yeah.
comes to light, some of these fools are going to be fools because they're just talking out the side of their neck. They don't know what they're talking about. They just
Yep.
want to be loud and do hot takes.
Yep.
Where if you're there, you kind of got to calm down sometimes once you start learning more about them. I think these stands, see them as betting commodities, something to yell about. But once you're in there, they are people, and I still keep up with players, Josh, Frank, Kenrich, those kind of guys. Once you actually meet them and spend time with them, you can't stand those people yelling about them. And me and Charles Chambers did that in the last podcast. He's like, yeah, you got to, once you actually learn, if you want to be a fan, be a fan. If you want to be in the game, you've got to learn to put that fandom aside a little bit.
Yeah.
And some have just amplified the fandom, and it is what it is.
I think that people, if you don't like a player, that's cool, but like, you should want them to do well. You should wish them well, because if they're doing well, your team's doing well. Do you not want the team to do well? You want the team to exceed? Like,
there's some people that don't want the team to exceed. They just want something to fuss about.
But that could be true, man. But yeah. There's so much I could say about standum and standhood and whatever you want to call it, standship. But yeah, just I feel like we all have the same. And I can't even say we all have the same common goal, because we don't. Like you said, some people don't want to see the team succeed, but it's just one of those weird things. And everything you see on Twitter is not what you're going to see on Reddit. It's not what you're going to see on Facebook. It's not what you're going to see in real life. So I guess take those things with a grain of salt. And I'm a big supporter of just muting and blocking people these days. Like, I'm just not going to deal with all of that, bro. I'm protecting my peace. Leave me alone. If I don't want to talk, if I don't want to talk to you, I don't have to.
I got other things to worry about, other things to think about. Hell, we got bills coming up in the next week or two. I don't know.
Man, they just hit me up for my season ticket money yesterday, bro.
I seen that.
That's a bill right there.
You got some extra tickets already, I heard too.
No, not yet. Not yet. As soon as I guess when the schedule come out, I don't know when the tickets going on sale, but I'm gonna be getting some extra stuff. I'm gonna be doing some giveaways per usual and stuff. Especially when I launch my new website.
There you go. That was the next thing. I'm going to do some giveaways too. You got a website. This is a soft launch. We're going to start everything for me on Labor Day, which also September 1st happens to be my birthday. Hey. So that's if y'all want to give me a birthday present, y'all just follow, subscribe, like. Give me some feedback. Let me know if that song is junk or what. Something. And then after you sign up for mine, go find Arielle, because she's coming a couple days later. But tell us more about what you got coming.
Yeah, so I decided to just go ahead and launch my own website, man. So on there, I'm gonna be selling some merch. I got some shirts, some mugs, some other things. I'm basically gonna be doing like a Patreon style thing. So I'll have some memberships available. It's like 2 membership tiers, so you can get access to like uncut footage and things like that. I'm gonna be doing a lot more like game day vlogs and game recaps and stuff like that. So but yeah, I got a little sneak peek of the merch right here. Just a little bit. Oh, who's that bird?
Who that bird?
Who's that bird? So yeah, I'm gonna be selling shirts. Eventually, I'm expanding the merch and everything. I actually got an idea this morning, like 20 minutes before we got on, for a new shirt idea, and I'll be working on that as soon as we're done. But yeah, if you go to ariellemyers.com right now, you can sign up for my mailing list. And I'm gonna be keeping everybody posted on, when the site's launching and everything. But yeah, I got a countdown on there, and right now officially it's launching on September 29th, probably like early in the morning, not at midnight, but like when I get up and I get ready for summer camp Rel, that's when the site's gonna be live.
Right, but it's already up a little bit. You like a business with a post office box. They can go over there and get on the mailing list.
Pretty much, man. Pretty much. So you can go over there, sign up for that, and just just be patient. I'm working behind the scenes. I'm ready to launch this thing and get going. But it's one of those things where it's like, I don't want to launch it in the dead of the off season. So I'm waiting till the end of next month, right before they start training camp. So I feel like that's a good time to, get into that whole thing.
Right. Hey, ain't no time like right now this season. Hopefully it's the best one yet. Before I let you go, we hit some movies. We've hit hoops. First time we met was music. Mm-hmm. You doing anything on that end? How you keeping your peace? I know it's more something you do for yourself, but
yeah,
what's going on? How you jamming over there?
It's man, it's been a little minute. I actually like kind of bumped one of my guitars this morning, and I was like, I should probably pick it up and play it every now and then. It's been a little minute, but I've just been in the process of like cleaning this room out because this is where I'm starting to like do my actual work day at. But I also do some of my content in here too. But this is where I used to, in the pandemic, I was like a pandemic DJ, right? And so I would be in here and I call it the blue room. So I'm like, yeah, y'all coming to the blue room tonight. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I haven't been playing a lot of music lately and I've been thinking about getting back into it, but I've just been so busy trying to get the website thing together. And when I have an idea with that, I'm just like, I'm going, you know? So yeah, it's been a little minute. It's been a few years since I put out an EP or anything like that, but all that stuff is still up on Spotify and everything like that. And my last project I put out was it was a different genre. I actually did a little bit of rapping on there. It was kind of funny, but
Okay.
that was just, it was an experimental. It was an experimental EP is what we'll call it. But yeah, my other music is just it's soft rock. It's like acoustic emo stuff, you know. But that was a lot of fun. I've been playing guitar for almost 20 years now. Yeah,
I don't
self-taught.
even think I plucked 20 strings in my life, really.
Yeah, man. My first guitar was from Toys R Us. It was a first act guitar. And with first act, it comes with like a CD or a booklet or something
Mm-hmm.
to guide you so you can teach yourself how to play the instrument. And that was my first one. And um I lost that guitar in Katrina, and then I got my next guitar or whatever. So I'm like 5 or 6 guitars deep now, but I don't have them all. I still got two. I got an electric, I got an acoustic, and that's all I need. I got my little amp, I got a couple pedals, you know, keep it cute. But yeah, I'm gonna get back into that at some point. It is pretty therapeutic. I just don't know if I'll continue to write and release. I got other stuff going on.
Hey, doing makes you happy. I know you're a busy person.
Mm.
Oh, had that one. I feel like I guess it's about time for lunch for me. Uh, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up, get some lunch. Tell the people where they can find you again. Tell them where to find Who's That Bird.
Yeah, it's www.relmyers.com, man. RELMYERS. And then my Twitter and my TikTok and YouTube channel, that's all at Rel Myers too. So I got everything uniform now. So you ain't gotta be trying to figure out what's her name on this site, what's her name on that site. It's all the same. Rel Myers.
Gotcha. Well, Arielle Myers, this is Chris Dodson, SouthCoast Swish. Appreciate you coming on. We'll have you on again before it launches and jumps off. Definitely before media day and that open practice and that first preseason game.
Yeah.
Stay in shape. I see that summer camp. Your shot's right. I'm about to get mine right. So thanks again.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.